It's Saqib Uddin for Fight Up TV. I'm in the Hatton gym in Hyde, and with me I have heavyweight prospect Nathan Gorman. How you doing, Nathan?
Very well, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Well, Nathan, you were scheduled to fight last week on the undercard of Catchwell vs Davis, but unfortunately your opponent pulled out a few days before the fight due to the injury.
Yeah.
But now you're fighting this Saturday in Brentford. I know it's been a long camp for you, so how excited are you to get back in the ring on Saturday night? And how's your preparation been ahead of Saturday night?
I'm very excited, to get back in the ring. Like you said, I've been in camp. I boxed in June. I had 2 weeks off. I had a little family holiday. I was straight back in, so I've been in camp since the end of June. It's like nearly 4 months coming up I haven't been in the ring. I was due to fight, like you said, in Leicester, but I got a phone call on fight week on the Thursday when I was in Ukraine that he pulled out due to an hand injury. It's one of them things. I was very frustrated, but I had the weekend off, then I got back into the gym, and then they give me this new day in Brentford. So we're heading for that one.
What do you know of your opponent ahead of Saturday night?
He hasn't confirmed yet. We've got a few names in the mix, so I'd imagine who they've got. They all look tough, tough, durable opponents.
Well, you're also scheduled to fight on December the 22nd in Manchester Arena on the undercard of Warrington vs Brampton.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to end the year fighting on such a big event?
Oh, it's great. I'm fighting on, like you said, a massive bill. Probably could be one of the biggest bills in British boxing this year. Potentially it could be a barnstorm between Frampton and Selby, and I'm on the undercard, and I'll be having a very good fight on that one. We're looking at top 30 in the world, top 20 in the world opponent for me on that card.
When your last fight against Sean Turner, we saw a slight different approach to your game as you threw some ferocious uppercut and fought the inside, which something like your trainer Ricky Han did really well. Is that something that you've been working on in the gym?
Yeah, definitely. When that fight was made with Sean, Sean's a lot shorter than me, a lot more compact. We was working a lot on up close shots, because I think he was expecting me to box and move. So when I'd done that approach, the uppercuts and the hooks and the body shots, I think it took him a bit by surprise, and it ended the way it did, and I was made up with my performance.
Well, Nathan, at the age of 22, you sparred with some of the best in the heavyweight division with the likes of Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua, and your cousin Tyson Fury. How valuable has that experience been for you at this stage of your career?
Very valuable. Little bits here and there I can pick up. When I spar Tyson, I pick up bits of him. When I spar Derek Chisora, I pick up bits of him. Just throw it all into the pot and try and make your own, your own style really. So it's very valuable experience because all them boys there, they're at the top of the game or have been at the top of the game. So it's extremely good really.
Well, Nathan, every single time you fight, the Daniel Dubous fight always gets mentioned, and vice versa with Dubous.
Yeah, of course.
It's a fight that won't stop getting mentioned until it happens.
That's right, yeah.
But when can we actually expect that fight to happen?
On our behalf, me, Rick, and all my team, we'd fight him this Saturday in Brentford. We'll fight him anytime he wants it. But I'd imagine with Frank and stuff, I can imagine they want to build it, probably into mid next year. Or could be even further. On our behalf, we'll fight him whenever, but it's all down to them really, balls in their court.
Well, you're two people that have sparred numerous times in the amateur. Do you take anything from that ahead of a potential class next year? Yeah, definitely.
We've sparred 200-300 rounds. We shared rooms together at the GB team, so we know each other inside and out. I know him and he knows me, so it has potential to make a good fight there. But every time we sparred, I had the upper hand. I'd like to believe so. He probably says the same thing, but I believe I had the upper hand every time we sparred. So, like I said, we know each other. I know his strengths and weaknesses, so that's why it's going to be a very good fight.
Well, we saw Dubous in action last week with his points victory over veteran heavyweight Kevin Johnson. What did you make of his performance?
Don't get me wrong, he'd done what he had to do, but those shots there, he could have took Johnson out with. Johnson didn't really want to know from word go. He just wanted to survive, and he set on the ropes to survive. I think he threw about 30 punches in the full fight, didn't he? So it's one of them fights really. He just done what he had to do to get the rounds, I suppose.
Well, the heavyweight division is absolutely booming right now, not only at world level but domestic level, as you have the likes of yourself, Dave Allen, David Price, Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubous. How does it feel to be in that mix right now?
Exceptional, domestically, never mind world, it's probably the best it's ever been. Where we had probably 10 good names in Britain. Never have we, so it's probably the best time to be a heavyweight now. There's some great fights to be made, and I imagine I'll be a part of all them names what you've mentioned there in fights in time to come.
Well, let's talk about one of the biggest fights in boxing right now. Your cousin Tyson Fury goes up against WBC world champion in Deontay. What's your thoughts on that fight, and how do you see it planning out?
It's a very good fight. I see Tyson beat him easy myself personally. What I've been watching with the press conference and things, it looks like he's getting into his head straight away. We've got over a month to go. I do believe Wilder will be thrown to the wind, and I think Tyson will make him miss and make him pay. I think he's totally wrong. Not for Wilder, for any heavyweight, to be fair. You know, he's very elusive, switch hitter, hands up, hands down. How do you prepare for a man like that? He's very good at throwing combinations. I think he'll beat Wilder via wide points margin or late stoppage.
Well, you're someone that knows Tyson better than anyone, so were you surprised in how quickly he's taken this fight, given the calibre of opponents he's faced in his 2 comeback fights and the layoff?
Well, you can't come to think, this time last year, he come in the gym 28, 29 stone. A year from then, he's had 2 comeback fights, lost 10 stone, and he's challenging for the WBC heavyweight title. So it's remarkable, really, on one hand, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, as you just mentioned there, you saw Tyson at the gym when he was 29 stones and needed help the most. So what have you made of the progression of Tyson Fury when he first stepped into the gym till now?
Great, you know, everyone was saying, oh, you know, he can't come back, but he proved that all the doubt was wrong. He lost 9 or 10 stone. He's had his 2 comeback fights now, like I said before, and now he's on the verge of remaking history, becoming a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, which is, it's unbelievable, so hats off to him, really.
Well, seeing Tyson both in and out of the ring, how much of a motivation has it been for you to see him overcome his demons and come back in boxing the way he has?
Big motivation. You know, he's been in the dark places. You know, he's faced these demons, but he's conquered them. And now he's back. You know, he's back where he belongs in the ring. And I think the boxing public has missed him. You know, they've changed ship now, and they're all siding for Tyson now, where it was all the Joshua. They've actually changed ship now, and they're realising that, you know, Tyson is an exceptional person.
Nathan, absolute pleasure for your time.
No worries. Thank
Nathan
you.
Gorman for Fight Hub TV.
Nice one, mate. Good. Thank you.